We've analysed over 5,000 photos and videos shot on the ground that day. We've determined when each was shot.
It happens world over. People are killed, our people are killed, we sympathize, we moved on. Even world over. Remember, let us not subjugate or discriminate against our own agencies that we think are doing their jobs.
I don't know what their intention is. Their intention could be fuel more harm and whatever. I don't know what their intention is. But from the young people that have spoken, it has actually created more anger. We are taking them back to the path that they would rather not walk again. But they are walking it.
Kulea mtoto afike miaka kadhaa, una expect ya kwamba yule mtoto atakuja ndo wakushikilia mama kuendeza ile jamii. But unapata kwamba somebody alikuwa trigger happy. Ameweza kuwa wale vijana. Ilikuwa ni jambo la huzuni kwangu sana. They were shooting an armed youth. Unapata ya kwamba they were using force, excessive force. In fact, ukiangalia everything, they escalated it. Because kuna wakati our youth ni kama walirudi nyuma. But when the MPs started voting violently, mimi napiga yes. Mwingine sijui nini what? You know, it's like they were telling the youth, unadu, utadu, we've done it, utadu. We have a circus of a parliament that cannot say to the executive, no. The way we are hearing from our constituents, this is it. Because we have a mock of assembly that is joking around. That is why the executive is doing whatever it is. Mwingine anasema ati tulisahau, ulisahau wewe na nani? Wewe na nani? Unasema ati tulisahau, wewe na nani? Mzazi wa ule mtoto hajasahau, jinsi hawajasahau. Our parliament is like somehow possessed. Because I don't think men of high caliber like the MPs can just talk the way they want. Some of them said the videos were edited, you know, hii kitu ni kitu ya kutengenezwa. Oh no, if it was me, I could have killed 500, 5,000. Is 5,000 ni kuku kwani unaenda kwa sini binadamu? Mbunge kama huyu sasa wa Mandera. You know, sometimes I wonder with our leaders from northern Kenya sometimes, do they even use their brain? Why should somebody say anasahau aje? Hata babu yake aliyekufa maybe hawezi kumsahau. So why will you tell somebody asahau? Unasahau namna gani? Yeye na nani? Kwa sababu si mtoto wake alikufa. Ni mtoto ya Wakenya wale wengine ndio amekufa, si wake binafsi. Let them use their brain kama wako nayo. Kama wako na brain, let them be human, let them be sensitive, let them know which context of issues to speak to and how to speak about it. Because this country need healing and in a very big way. Wanapigia president kelele because they know the bus stops with him. He can command accountability and transparency from these leaders. If he knows that ya kwamba the transparency and accountability system are in check, the ECC is working, the DCI is working, this leadership could have done better job. But you find them, all of them running to State House. All of them running to some of the fundraisings done by those people in State House. Taking pesa ya kutoka mashinani kule. It's not just because they are human enough. It is just because they are buying to be loved, the darling of the state. The president should have told them, murudi kwenu. Go and do something. For example, in Isiolo, drought, flood ilikuja. Ilifagia watu. Have you seen anybody doing something about it? No. But we've seen the governor going to a Singishu, paying 2 million. For what? That 2 million ingesaidia your town. But now because Farouk Bet is there, this guy is taking that 2 million there so that he becomes where? Darling of the government. And that is why the following day we saw him with the president. What does that show? That if I'm near the president, I'm above accountability. If I'm near the state, I should not be asked anything.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Beyond the Eye, where we focus on matters health, governance, accountability, and special features across our country, Kenya. And today we have a great person with us, Mama Mchapakazi, a renowned activist from Isiolo County, Anab Kasim, and we'll just be discussing a very burning topical issue that has happened in the recent days in our country, the Blood Parliament. I'm talking about the BBC documentary yenye imesend shockwaves kwa gava, yenye Wakenya wamerespond, wamesema sasa we need gava to act. So we'll be having a conversation with Anab Kasim, who is an experienced activist, to just share insights, future of democracy, Gen Zs, tutafanya aje ndio to hold our government accountable without witnessing instances of our youths being butchered, unarmed youths being killed. And welcome so much to our set, Anna. To start us off, what was your reaction after you watched your Blood Parliament? The initial reaction?
Asante sana Wawero. It was imeturudisha ni kama mwana horror movie. Imeturudisha nyuma. It was very painful. Kwa sababu tuko tunaona watu walikufa. Unaona the actual day on 25th. Tunaona vile sarakasi ilikuweko, mambo vile ilienda. But wakati imekuwa sasa in depth, imeanza kuangalia kwa undani. Unaona kijana ndio huyo anacheka hapa. Unaona is not armed. Next unaonyeshwa amekufa. And then unaona ile scenario how it happened. Unaona askari hawakukuwa like kurudisha wale vijana nyumba, but they escalated the issue. Na unapata ya kwamba mtu ana kneel down, anachukua the very close range. Ilikuwa very painful. Na tumerudi among the old dark days ya nchi yetu. Na ilikuwa very unfortunate kwa sababu they were practicing the constitutional right. But what they were practicing now ikakuwa ni vifo, huzuni, siku ambayo haikuwa siku nzuri kwa nchi yetu. Ni huzuni kama mama, you feel hiyo uchungu kwa sababu kulea mtoto afike miaka kadhaa, una expect ya kwamba yule mtoto atakuja ndio akushikilia baba mama kuendeza ile jamii, but unapata kwamba somebody alikuwa trigger happy ameweza kuwa wale vijana. Ilikuwa ni jambo la huzuni kwangu sana. It keep on coming in my head. Kesho utapenda mtoto wako aende ingia katika mambo ya kutetea haki zake ama nini kama atakuwa narudi katika ile hali. Naam.
Alafu kuna kitu kigeni ambacho uliona kwa hiyo documentary ama zile vitu zilionyeshana ni vitu zenye Wakenya wamezoea kuziona? Haikuwa ni kitu ambalo unaweza kusema ni kitu umezoea. Unajua hiyo watu walinarrate vizuri. Unajua tulikuwa tunaona maaskari tu wanakimbishana, risasi ilikuwa inalia, but now imeenda in detailed. Unaona ni nani alitupa risasi, ni at which angle, the situation ya wale watu waliuawa walikuwa namna gani. Unajua ungesema mtu anabeba mawe ama panga, unaweza kusema huyo alikuwa anahatarisha maisha ya askari ama wale watu. Ndio yule askari alichukua ile action. But unaona an armed youth. A youth hata unampata most of them hata simu walikuwa wameshaweka kwa mfuko. So it was an armed youth. Some of them ni kama walikuwa narudi nyuma. Some of them naona walishoot from behind. It's like they were running away. Wengine unapata kwamba waliuawa pale kwa parliament. It's not like walikuwa wanataka kuzuia yale mambo. It was like deliberate. Na unajua ya kwamba katika haki za binadamu, you are not supposed to shoot an armed person. Mtu ambaye hayuko armed, you are not supposed to. But unapata ya kwamba training yao, the disciplinary force, iwe polisi, iwe ni askari wa kawaida, wale wengine wote, kuna vile unastahili kutumia ile risasi, kupiga mtu mgunda asikimbia kama ni mtu akona unaona ni anahatarisha maisha ama kuna kitu anaharibu. But unapata ya kwamba those people hawako wanataka wale watoto warudi katika hali ya uhai. Kwa sababu mtu ambaye anashoot kwa kichwa, mtu anashoot katika kwa roho, unapata ni jambo ambalo tuko tuna expect katika watu wetu ambao ni maskari. Kwa sababu somehow hawa watoto wanaweza kuwa even related to the same people. But what they did ilikuwa ni very wrong. And I think it is high time we call them and then waletwe into books. Let them carry the consequences of their actions.
IPOA naona imetoa list. Wanasema wanaenda going around kuchukua maoni ya wananchi na kuonesha watu status of ya kazi wamefanya. But itakikani mpaka saa ile documentary inatoka wananchi wanapiga kelele ndio unajua. Tunataka kuona zile maaskari wamechukua actions na wenye walitoa order pia, kwa sababu tulikuwa nasikia mwingine akisema ua. He was not to say ua, alikuwa anataka naambia fukuzanisha tupatia gas kitu kama hiyo, lakini si kuua. Ua unamaanisha kwamba ni jambo ambalo hailistahili kutoka kwa mdomo ya mtu ambaye ni anastahili kuweka peace and order. Kwa hivyo ni documentary, we knew what happened, ndo unajua ya kwamba inchi bado Gen Z, wazazi, watu wote wako na ile hasira ya 25th of June. Hii ni kama ya iliamsha ile kidonda. Unajua kuna kitu, unajua once you see it and sometimes inapita you like forget, but now unaona ya kwamba this boy was very happy and then minute ndio yanalala chini. You know, is unavaa ile viatu ule mzazi wa ule mtu ni kama wako leo wako pale chini. Ni jambo la huzuni na I think we never expected ifike pale kama wale viongozi wetu wako katika parliament wangekuwa wanasikiliza wananchi, kwa sababu hawa watu waliambiwa hatutaki hili finance bill, hii sio yetu, hii haitufai. Wametumwa pale kwa niaba ya wananchi, kuwakilisha wananchi katika ile bunge. Kwa hivyo ilikuwa inatakikana, sheria ya katiba inasema lazima kuwe na public participation. The public participation against finance bill was huge. Si kama ile public participation zetu za kawaida. Wananchi walijitokeza and those guys ni kama waliambia wananchi shauri yenu. We are not there for you. Hatutaki kujua. So unapata kwamba hata on the actual day wana vote walikuwa wanaona inchi vile iko very tense. Walikuwa wanaona vile wananchi wanaanza kujitokeza. Ilikuwa natakikana katika maarifa yao or their own wisdom wangesema okay guys, the country is tense, we don't need to take this action, let us calm our people and then let us advise them, let us do a lot of civic education, tuoneshe wananchi yale mnaambiwa na yale karatasi iko ABCD. Hawakulipatia nchi time ya kutuliza hamaki, but wali escalate. Ukiangalia maneno yalikuwa yanatoka katika wabunge wengine, ilikuwa ni kama kupaka kidonda chumvi. Kwa hivyo hata wakati documentary imetokea saa hii unapata ya kwamba the country is so angry. Still our Gen Zs are angry. You know, ni kama comrade tu. Wanafeel ya kwamba some of their comrade today are dead because of a call we made. Kwa sababu unajua hao ndo walitana kwa Twitters, hao ndo walitana kwa social platform, watu watoke. So Gen Zs, they came out on the call of their fellow Gen Zs. But some of the Gen Zs today wako kwa makaburi, some are unknown. Wameenda wapi? And then wewe ambaye unajua ya kwamba these guys they are boiling up, wanachomeka ndani, and then unaona documentary imetolewa, unajua ya kwamba you made a mistake and now currently you are still keeping on a mistake. Mwingine anasema ati ulisahau wewe na nani? Wewe na nani? Unasema ati wewe na nani? Mzazi wa ule mtoto hajasahau, Gen Z hawajasahau. As a country we will never forget because it will be part of our calendar. On 25th of June will be our calendar. It will be our calendar. Those are shujas in a way. No matter how the context of the issues happened, unarmed youth were killed. And then wakati unasikia mtu mwingine anakuambia, you know, Joe, those media is not supposed to do this, media is not supposed to do. They highlighted. It's for you to take what works, what went wrong, and amend it. They are the representative of the people. Wangekuwa wanasema ya kwamba hii documentary imetokea hivi. Despite us training our men in uniform to do what is right, they did this wrong. We need to investigate more. Give us time. Let us go back to investigation. Bring people to onto books. Compensate was familia. Ewambie tuwezi kurudisha mtoto wako lakini pole. Na wale walopotea, make sure you bring them back. Whatever uliwapeleka. Kama wamekufa, bring the dead. Useme ndio huyu mtoto wako. Kama ako hai, bring them. But huwezi kuambia mtu yenye amekosa mtoto wake ya kwamba we forgot. We forgot how? na si wako. We don't forget. Hata wale wenye wamekufa katika kifo ya kawaida, we don't forget them. In our conversation they come in. In whenever we do say fulani angekuwa hapa. So I think it is very irresponsible for our leaders, our political leaders, the talk wanaongea vile wanaongea si sawa. And I think our parliament is like somehow possessed, because I don't think men of high caliber like the MPs can just talk the way they want. And then they know that this country need healing. This country need cohesion. This country need people coming back together and saying, where did we go wrong? And bringing, because Gen Zs are the majority in terms of even population. You need to calm them down and show them ya kwamba the other side of the story. But hii story ya tu kujam up and responding to every comment, a whole parliament, instead of even discussing important issues, by now they could have decided on what to say, you know. But unaona ya kwamba the only conversation they have left all business ya assembly is to discuss that. And it was very, very unfortunate.
So unahisi kwamba utu ya Wakenya imepotea, sababu ukisikia kama ule mbunge wa Mandera anasema watu walikufa tusahau. What does it show?
Si utu ya Wakenya, ni utu wa parliament. You know, walikuwa na complain ati the title, the blood parliament. It is not only blood parliament, it is inhumane parliament. A parliament that does not feel, does not speak for the people. You know, ukiangalia, why were they elected? To represent the people. Umeelewa? We gave our power for them to go to that house. It's not they went by their own power. They went for the power of that kajenzi ameuawa. And then ukiona mbunge kama huyu sasa wa Mandera, you know, sometimes I wonder with our leaders from northern Kenya sometimes, do they even use their brain? Why should somebody say anasahau aje? Hata babu yake aliyekufa maybe hawezi kumsahau. So why will you tell somebody asahau? Unasahau namna gani? Yeye na nani? Kwa sababu si mtoto wake alikufa. Ni mtoto ya Wakenya wale wengine ndio amekufa, si wake binafsi. Kwa hivyo if as a parent, because he's an elder man, he was not supposed even to say that. But ukiona anaongea hivyo, ni utu ilimtoka, ubinadamu ilimtoka, and he thinks from an angle of I don't know where, because hiyo yake ilipita kiwango. And I think next session of parliament, they need to be censured. And I think the Speaker of the Assembly should put this house in order. Let them know what to say and how to say it. Because some of the issues we are talking about need very sensitive approach. It needs somehow people who use wisdom and to articulate issues. So that Mkenya akikaa pale anasema, how I felt ule mbunge ameongea. Now let us wait. Because Kenyans are informed, Kenyans are educated. They know when you mean something. Umeelewa? So they need not to escalate the pain. Because what they are trying to do ni kudunga kidonda. Let them not do that, but address how to solve what happened. Because Kenya is a democratic country, a country with a constitution, a country that upholds human rights. Is supposed a country that should do whatever it happened. They say, yes, this happened, and this is the resolution to it. This is what we are going to do about it. But now ukiokemea aliyeleta ujumbe, ukianza kukemea wananchi, you've seen how some days our social medias is like vijana walienda chini. And then wameona media ile kitu, and then wewe unaanza kuongeza chumbi. You are not showing compassion, you are not showing ile unaona utu, binadamu, uongozi pia, integrity somehow. Unapata ya kwamba you need to escalate. We don't need to do that. And I think it's a high time we call them to start. Ya kwamba let them use their brain kama wako nayo. Kama wako na brain, let them be human, let them be sensitive, let them know which context of issues to speak to and how to speak about it. Because this country needs healing and in a very big way. Kwa sababu the anger in us, the anger in our country is boiling up. And we need somebody who can tuliza ile kitu, not to do as is being done by the parliament. I think it is high time the religious leaders, the civil society, the others to come and not talk in an angle of like the politics, but in an angle whereby we bring people together. We put the temperature down. We now say this happened and it is wrong. This is a solution to it. How are men in uniform? This is how we are going to solve it. The youth, this is how we are going to do about it in terms of employment, in terms of whatever it is. In terms of the people who died, this is what we are going to do about their parent, and how this is how we are going to remember them. Even installing a memorial and saying these are the youth who died fighting for a right that is enshrined in the Constitution. Menela. But huwezi wrap it up all na useme vile ilikuwa, because we know how it started and we know how it ended very ugly. Yes.
Kama mtetezi wa haki za kibinadamu, what pressing human rights violations uliweza kuziona kwa ile documentary zenye unahisi zinafaa zishughulikiwe kwa haraka?
Human rights violation ilikuwa mingi. Unapata ya kwamba they were shooting an armed youth. Unapata ya kwamba they were using force, excessive force. In fact, ukiangalia everything, they escalated it. Because kuna wakati our youth ni kama walirudi nyuma. But when the MPs started voting violently, mimi napiga yes, mwingine sijui nini what? You know, it's like they were telling the youth, unadu, utadu, we've done it, utadu. So escalation from the parliament made it the violent it went. Na wakati waliua watoto, ndo unaona ya kwamba now the violence cases were experienced. So I think violation on all aspects happened. Killing an armed youth is not allowed. Using excessive force was not even allowed. I think
we had even cases of people being tear-gassed in churches.
And even, you know, sometimes what happened is that wengine were being dragged, even the media were not spared. So all kind of violation happened. And I think those are the things that the government need now to address. And I know that Kenya Human Rights Commission has highlighted it kitambo. Walisema this is the number of people who died, this is what happened. Documentation has happened. Kenya Human Rights was the first to say the abuses of human rights that happened. And being part of the UN as an agreement we had on issue of human rights, I think violation happened. Now is the government to address those violations. The way they address it is up to them, but that needs to be addressed. The men in uniform, the violation they did on the fellow citizens was unacceptable, it was uncalled for, and whoever ordered them to go and kill should be brought to book too. So it is a chain of culprits that did whatever happened they did. So I think it's high time those human rights abuses should be addressed. Because after the 25th, we had youth being kidnapped, some of them like the young man found in some river, others who were tortured in some places released after some days. A lot of violation happened after the 25th. All of it should be addressed because it is in the same context. Some died, some tortured, some drowned, some up to today missing. So the whole thing, Kenya Human Rights captured it very well. And I think the media did a great work by addressing and bringing it out. But unajua sasa watu wanasemanga ni Kenya, media ya kawaida ya Kenya walipuuzilia. Inawauma ni international media kuonesha aibu yetu, ndo ile wauma. Kwa sababu now inaonekana internationally, ndo ile wauma, but the truth is still that. And it should be addressed as it is. Yes.
All right. Sasa, who does the buck stop with? Kwa sababu we have a lot of institutions that are supposed to undertake investigations. Tuko na DCI, DPP anafaa prosecute. tuko mpaka na National Police Service, and then we have a president
Yes.
who can issue orders na
Yes.
vitu zifanyike. So who should be blamed for all these violations? Failure by the government to investigate first and bring the culprits to book. To mulaumu nani? Who carries the biggest blame?
You know, normally we say in the hierarchy of leadership, the buck stops with the boss. In this instance, it stops with the president. Because ukiangalia, all offices under him, the DCI, whatever, all are political appointees. He should demand an answer. He should address them and demand them to bring a solution to whatever it is. Because huwezi kuniambia DCI was appointed by who? Nis who? You know, all this, the CS interior, all of them defense, the directors, you know, it comes from somewhere. So the president, this bus stops at his doorstep. He should carry the responsibility in addressing it. And he is we call the image of the country. He's the face of the country. And it is upon him to restore the dignity of this country by upholding the human right. It should be his responsibility to make sure his country is united, and any ailment that is the country is going through, he should be the person who should be curing it. Because the boss is somebody who put strategic measures to issues. And I know he is able, he's capable of doing so. So for him to bring his country, his youth at ease, he should demand a better resolution from the all established security team. Be it DCI, be it the interior, be it the police, whoever was part and parcel of that thing should be held responsible. The police, we start with the police. We had the former one who went, and then we had the current one. We know all of them one by one and what they did. As a layman or a commoners in the country, we know what happened. But he knows exactly what happened. So he should do something about it and resolve this genocide that happened to our youth, because we can call it a genocide.
Tumemsikia rais kwa mara nyingi akisema fanyeni hivi, but hatuoni kitu kifanyika. Is it that anatuchezea mind game, ama serikali imekuwa unmanageable, ama he is insensitive? Ni ile tu anacheza PR kwa kamera. You
know, president is a politician, yeah? And politicians, they always have two cards. The card that they show us and the actual card. The card that you see fanya hivi is a PR card. Ile ya kutuliza wananchi. But the actual card is a card that is hidden, and that is a commanding card. And I hope you use that commanding card to solve this. Because we know, normally we say, even our leaders, they usually have two manifestos. A manifesto of the people and the manifesto of those, campaigners and what we call the contractors. They have that. And usually they implement that one, not the one of the wananchi. So the same way. And I hope, because he's a father, he's a leader of so many years, this issue, he should take it to heart. Because it happened in his regime. It was one of the darkest days for him. He should address it so that Kenyans should feel like that the man we elected, no matter this happened under him, this is the resolution and this is the solution he brought. And like tukiachilia, we address it from a political angle, we forget the human part of it, tutakuwa tunaiharibu zaidi. Yeah.
And do you feel kuna any progress gava ilikuwa imemake before the documentary talk, in terms of investigation, in terms of having people arrested, in terms of compensation to families that lost their loved ones, in terms of even paying for medical bills ya wale watu wenye waliathirika hiyo wakati? In fact, just the other day there is one of the victims who died in hospital, or in fact alikufa wakiwa na a lot of huge bill in the hospital.
Yes.
So do you think there's anything significant our government had achieved before the documentary, at least as far as the happenings on June 25th and days after are concerned?
I don't think much was done, huh? Apart from IPOA compiling a list. You know, before they compile a list, there is a thorough investigation and there's a thorough search because I'm seeing a huge number of people who died and the cause of their death. I think there was an investigation that happened. Kuna kitu ilienda behind the scene. In terms of maybe compensation, in terms of hata kusema pole to the familia, in terms of even putting the flag down and saying, you know, we've lost people, that was missing. And I think there's a political reason behind it, but IPOA did something. And I know IPOA cannot only do it alone. They have through the other mechanism, the other teams. So I think in terms of investigation and other institutions following up, like the Kenya Human Rights Commission, the human rights bodies, a lot, and the media, made it sure that we had a compiled list. Yeah.
Okay. And do you think the happenings in our country zina normalize maneno ya violence?
Violence, leave alone about this one of the finance bill. When you look at what is happening in Rift Valley currently on the issue of land, the way we do it, we are doing it in a way that we escalate things. And you know, we have an intelligence system in the country. We know what is happening, who is doing it, how it started, how it's going on. And I don't know why we don't use our intelligence report to stop things from escalating. And it is becoming norm. You know where we are coming from. In Isiolo County, we've been having raid on a daily basis. People are being killed. People, livestock are being taken. And the government is not even responding to it. We had the former CS, Kindiki, now the deputy president. He was there. He in fact witnessed it because he was with the KPR, but marisasi inapigwa upande hii. We've seen the ministers and whatever coming to the ground, but people's livestock are being taken. People's livelihood are being taken. Children are becoming more often daily. Juzi tu Isiolo, in Cherab ward, people were killed. Our neighbor Meru are not spared. Daily, ng'ombe zao zimeisha. But where is the government to respond to these organized criminals? It's not that they don't have the report. They know who is facilitating them, where they are taking this livestock, who is this doing this. But unapata ya kwamba our intelligence reports are not well acted upon. They are not even implemented. And as a country, we put that system in place to help the country develop and to stop criminal activity to happen. But unapata ya kwamba things are not happening, and I don't know the reason. Is it because of politics? Is it because of you wanted people to be very busy with their issues so that we don't discuss national issues? I don't know what is happening, but we have a problem. And the only problem can be solved if we implement what is on our tables. Yeah.
And now, because kuna systemic challenges in
Yes.
terms of the institutions that we have, what should be done ndio mwananchi leo akidhulumiwa kwa njia yote ile, because we also have gender-based violence, femicide cases are so high in our country.
Yes.
Mkenya ajue kwamba ukinidhulumu leo, I'm sure I will get justice.
Yes.
See the issue ya a police officer could just come and beat you up and you'll never get justice.
Yes.
What do we need to correct? Is it the integrity of our leaders? Ama it's the institutions that we need to change? Let's say now we avoid appointive positions there at the top. What should we do?
I think corruption has been systemized, and you find that laziness, people are not being followed up. You find things are not going right. You find that cases, when it goes to court, that is where now sasa mwenye nguvu mpishi. You find that money is being used. Nepotism happened. That is the place that could have salvaged some of the issues. unapata ya kwamba the channel, the pathways to reporting all this has been all compromised. Ndio unapata ya kwamba ukidhulumiwa kupata haki imekuwa ni kizungumkuti. But you find that ya kwamba if we have somebody who goes back to, after establishing this institution, making sure that what is happening, follow up. That is the intelligence I was talking about. Or maybe hata sending somebody and taking a sort of a rapporteur and understanding why the stalemate, what is happening. You find in our county now, GPV cases are being reported, but the conclusion unapata kwamba none went to court. Ukiuliza unaambia, oh, you guys mulielewana mkatoa. But unapata kwamba the person got frustrated. Unapata kwamba ule mama amekuwa frustrated, go and back, she's using money. Unapata kwamba asaidiki, so anaona wacha tu ilishatendeka, wacha ikae. So I think the systematic problem can only be solved by those who put the system, the parliamentary. They should now have done their own searching and understand why is GBV issues escalating and becoming more than it used to be. Why the femicide issues, or why do we have early pregnancy? Or why is it that after putting so much policy on FGM, why is it still increasing? People who should have measured the progress of the policies that they put are the same legislators that today are laughing at the agencies, are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I think that is where we went wrong, electing people to that office, people who are not people's in mind, but their own selfish. Yes.
Tunapomalizia, in most cases when we focus on issue the happenings of June 25th last year, we focus on the national things that happened, but tunajua protest pia zilienda kwa counties.
Yes.
Do you feel there are a number of violations that could have happened in the counties in Zilikuwa that you are not reported?
When we talk about 25th of June, we're not talking about what happened only in Nairobi. We're talking about even our county. There was people who were shouting in Isiolo. We know some youth were beaten. Some youth were roughed up na wakawekwa ndani. When you look at the report of IPOA, it shows several counties. In fact, unapata Kakamega has a huge number. You go to Kisumu, the same. So it happened in all our counties. No county was spared. Na hata ile county jafanya demonstration in a huge number like Nairobi, there was that discontentment with the report, the bill. So when we talk about solving that issue, we are not talking about only what happened here in Nairobi, but what happened to each and every county. Yeah.
And we are living in very, very hard times where you find anyone who is against the government is now under threat, journalists included, activists here. How now are we going to pursue these challenging times? Yenye wale wako kwa uongozi hawataki kukosolewa, ukimkosoa anakuona kama adui, hawataki kuchukua positive criticism.
Ukiona a government or a system that is allergic to criticism is doing wrong. Is doing something that they don't want people to know. And I think we've been there in wakati wa Moi, and we survived. The likes of Kinaurengo survived. If the current leadership is going to be allergic, hawajafika ya Moi, but wakikuwa allergic, will survive it. Not all Kenyans will die. Some will survive it to tell the story. But what I'll encourage each and every Kenyan still to fight for their rights. No one should be cowered down. These people are elected by us. They are there because of us. We still have that power. Imebaki nini? Only one finance bill, one budget. Ndio imebaki ya 2026, 2027. And they are gone. And we can take them home if we feel they have not been up to date with the promises and the manifesto they put in place. It is up to us, the Kenyans, because we are more than 50 million Kenyans. We can do something about it. It's not supposed that we need to demonstrate ama kupiga kelele for us to take these people home. We can be silent, but still they send them home. So it's a matter of understanding what kind of leadership we need. Sometimes you find that the leaders we brought in is just because of our clan. Some of the leaders who speak in that parliament retrogressively, majority of them came just because of their clan numericals. But it's not because there's a leadership call in them. Because if you have that call in you, you can never speak like some of them, how they were speaking. Some of them said the videos were edited, you know, hii kitu ni kitu ya kutengenezwa. Oh no, if it was me, I could have killed 500, 5,000. Is 5,000 ni kuku kwani unaenda kwa sini binadamu? So the call is upon us, the Kenyans. In 2027, Mungu akitufikisha, who do we choose? And what are the ingredients in that leader that you are looking at? We want a leader who comes from Isiolo, and the one who comes from Migori, and the one who is coming from Mandera, and the one who is coming from Nyeri. A man who will speak for Kenyans in each and every corner and will feel the pain of each and every corner. A leader who is, when he stands, he knows that if Kenya is ailing in one side, as a Kenya from the other side, we feel the pain. So that as a country, we move together. And we should not agree for the political class to divide us. They divide us so that they can rule. They divide us so that they create that, you know, a hamaki ya ukabila na region na nini. And for us as a Kenyan, we should not buy that. In fact, we should demand them to stop that nonsense. And when we see such stupidity coming from any leader, it should be stopped. And it should start from the media. They should not give a political leader who speaks nonsense airtime to speak that nonsense, so that he will not create hate among the country. We should give mic to people who bring people together. A leader who gives a card that Kenyans say, yes, huyu ni wa kutoka region fulani, but he speaks what I want. And like giving airtime to a leader who is more radicalizing or maybe putting too much hate in the heart of our young ones. Because our youth can only consume what they see. And it needs to come wisdom from these leaders that uzalendo should be something above us. Natakana kila kitu uzalendo wetu iwe juu. Ya kwamba as a country we need to be proud of our country. Whatever ails us, we need to come together and solve it. Because Kenyans are the country whereby mtu mmoja anakuwa mgonjwa mahali, Kenyans are ready to pay the shillings they have to saidia. That is us. Kenyans are a generous republic. Kenyans are people who love one another. And we should not accept a few political leaders. You know, tunasemanga kukua mzee imaanishi unakuja na wisdom. Hata mjinga huwa anazeeka. So some of them are not political leaders. They are clan chauvinists. Some of them are tribal cocoons or goons who are in that parliament. We should not accept. We should like sieve them, kuweka kwa kichungi na tumwage those ones we see that they are not the face of this country, and uphold the few who are upholding the integrity of this country at a high bar. We don't need to look like suckers in the international community. We need to know when to wash our dirty linen inside our houses and when to escalate issues. So, I mean, my last issue with everyone is that 2021 is not far. Let us be wise enough and let us use our voting card responsibly. Yes.
Labda tukimalizia Anabe, what does justice look like for you? Hawa watu wenye wameathirika na hiyo issue ya June 25th
Yes.
na wenye vijana wao walikuwa abducted, wengine hawajaipatikana.
Yes.
Ni nini inaweza fanyika feel confidently that these families have gotten the justice?
I think the justice those heroes deserve is building a memorial momentum for them. We celebrate them, or maybe even June, when we celebrate Mashujaa Day, we should know that on 25th, on that particular day, we lost people who are fighting not only chakula ya tumbo yao, but they were fighting for the country, no more taxes. They should be done that. Second, their parent should be compensated. Second, that is that those culprits who are behind the killings, they're being brought to book. Then is when we can say, at least, because they are gone, at least justice have been served. And maybe those who left children should be given something like free bursaries. Yes, because their bread winner is gone.
And briefly, because tumesema the buck stops with the president and MPs pia wanaweza changia, what would you tell them with regards to hiyo maneno ya...
I think the president angefanya kazi mzuri kama angekuwa na parliament mzuri. But we have a circus of a parliament that cannot say to the executive, no, the way we are hearing from our constituents, this is it. Because we have a mock of assembly that is joking around. That is why the executive is doing whatever it is. When you look at the president, he's one person, and he needs the right people in the office. But because the president maybe alikosea wakati alikuwa anaweka the political loyalist, he lacked people who can bring wisdom to him. But he's a wise man. A man, he knows what is right and what is wrong. He should do what is right for the right country, so that he goes in the books of Kenyans to be a president who listened. When he said this finance bill inaweka chini kwa sababu wananchi wasema hivi, we need him to say, I'm listening, and this is what I'm going to take action on this documentary. It will be something that will show that is a man who can put his politics down for the well-being of the country. Yes.
Asante. Swali la mwisho kabisa, because you are also a Kenyan, are you satisfied with the manner in which our country is progressing generally? Do you feel our country is progressing well?
I think the country, the problem with the country is not only in the central national government, but up to the counties. What happened is that I don't know, is it by design or by accident, we have leaders who decided there's no circulation of money in the counties. What happened is that the county government and the CDF money comes back to Nairobi. The people who are given the contractual are people from Nairobi or the bigger towns. So you find in counties, there's no circulation of money. And you find projects are being done by outsiders. And I think that is where our problems start. Hapo kutoka mashinani. Now ndo unapata ya kwamba things are going wrong. And that is why you find that temperature inapanda juu. Ndio unaona ya kwamba watu wanapigia president kelele because they know the bus stops with him. He can command accountability and transparency from these leaders. If he knows that ya kwamba the transparency and accountability system are in check, the ECC is working, the DCI is working, this leadership could have done better job. But you find them, all of them running to State House. All of them running to some of the fundraisings done by those people in State House. Taking pesa ya kutoka mashinani kule. It's not just because they are human enough. It is just because they are buying to be loved, the darling of the state. The president should have told them, mrudi kwenu. Go and do something. For example, in Isiolo, drought, flood ilikuja. Ilifagia watu. Have you seen anybody doing something about it? No. But we've seen the governor going to a Singishu, paying 2 million. For what? That 2 million ingesaidia your town. But now because Farouk Bet is there, this guy is taking that 2 million there so that he becomes where? Darling of the government. And that is why the following day we saw him with the president. What does that show? That if I'm near the president, I'm above accountability. If I'm near the state, I should not be asked anything. Whether do you find that in Isiolo is an county whereby the Senate has raised issues, the commoners have raised issues, our payroll leaked, and we took it to date. Nothing is happening. And that is why unaona watu wanakuambia mtapiga kelele mtadu. Because system has been compromised. by hii brown envelope going to the office of the president. Hawa watu kujipendekeza huku kunaharibika, and it is wrong. You know, saying it as it is, that is what, saying as it is itauma watu, but that is the truth. Why should you give 2 million to Wasingishu wakati safested wa mama wajalala kwa nyumba, bula pesa ndio hiyo wanajijengea bridge. Tunaambiwa sisi tuchange simiti ati mchanga, a small bridge because kati ya town na bula pesa imekatika. Our dead people in the butcher, in the graves, mifupa yao iko nje. Why should we go through that? So I think the president, let his office not be used by these political leaders. Let them go work for their people. Let him leave establish his office to work. And those offices that people are questioning should be checked and made responsible and held accountable. Yes.
Thank you so much, Anab, for being part of this conversation. We really appreciate for your time na pia a lot of insights you've shared with us. We believe that our viewers, wherever you are, that one is going to be very insightful to you. And we said no one is an island of thoughts. So do share your comments, your feelings down there on the comment sections, like and share our content. And don't forget to subscribe to receive real-time updates from Beyond the Eye. Asanteni sana and God bless you.